today I'm going to be showing you how to make some simple bread rolls. So before you start, make sure you wash your hands. I've washed mine, so make sure you wash yours too. So in front of me are the ingredients we're going to use to make these bread rolls. So I have 250 grams of bread flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and this is a 7-gram packet of fast action dried yeast, and this is going to make your bread rise, and then 150 millilitres of warm water. This is optional, but we like to put sesame seeds on top of our bread. So once you've weighed out all your ingredients, we're then going to start to make the bread. So first of all, you're going to get your bread flour, so 250 grams, and we're just going to put it into the sieve that's over the bowl, and then we can sieve it through. To sieve the flour through, you can either give it a stir and gradually it will go through, or you can tap it against your hand. Just take out the spoon. Okay, so once that's sieved, next we're going to add in our sugar, our salt, and then once we're adding in them, we're going to add in the yeast. Then we're going to get our spoon, and we're just going to give it all a bit of a stir together. So this is what you've got so far. Okay, now we're going to make kind of like a wall in the middle. So using your hands, just push out the flour or push out the mix that you've made. So it should look a bit like this. Yeah, so when it has it fallen down. And then inside you're going to add the warm water. So that's 150 millilitres, and you're just going to pour it in the middle. And then using the spoon, you're going to just give it a stir to start with. And it should start to form a dough. So when this starts to happen, you can then get your hands in there. If the dough is too wet, then you can maybe add a bit more flour, and then if it's too dry and it's not all sticking together, then you can add a bit more water. So once you've got all the dough together, then you're then going to start to knead the bread. So on this table, let me just get this stuff out of the way. I've got a little bit of flour, I'm just going to sprinkle it around, and this is going to stop the bread from sticking to the table. So I'm going to put our dough on there, and I'm going to start to knead it. So you should knead it for about 10 minutes. So look at the time on the clock, and then that's the amount of time you're going to knead it to. So when you're kneading it, just make sure you really push your wrist into the dough, and this is going to activate the yeast, which will make your bread rise. So after kneading for 10 minutes, you're then going to get a greased baking tray, and you're going to separate your dough into 4 equally sized balls. And roll them in your hands and flatten them down a little bit, but not too much. And you're going to put each one on there. There you go. And then we're going to take the sesame seeds. So these are optional, as I mentioned earlier. And if you want these, then you're just going to put a few on top of each one and just press them down lightly with your finger. Oops. So then you're going to cover them with cling film and put them in a warm place for half an hour. So after your rolls have been in the warm place for half an hour, they should have increased in size. So you're going to take off the cling film, preheat the oven to 220 degrees C or gas mark 7, and then you're going to put them in there for 10 to 15 minutes or until they're golden brown. So get an adult to help you with this. So now your rolls should have come out the oven and they should look a bit like this. They've got like a golden brown colour. So once they're cool, you can cut them open, put some fillings in and eat them. So enjoy!